Social Security continues to be one of the hottest topics of 2023, and rightfully so. We only have 10 more years of Social Security before it becomes insolvent. But what is Congress doing about it? What is the White House doing about it? What is President Biden, former President Donald Trump, any campaign or campaignee, what are they doing? Well, here's what I want to say. I have written to many different, politicians. I've written to, people here in Washington as well, Washington State, people in Washington, D.C. But recently, another YouTuber wrote to President Biden and former President Donald Trump. He got a letter back from President Biden. And I want to read this letter, but at the same time, and I'll tell you who this was, and I'll even direct you to his YouTube channel so you can go and check it out. He does have some really good content. But the reason why I want to point this out is because this is probably the third time I've been shown a letter that is very similar, almost identical. So this isn't an actual response to the person's email, and this is why I want to bring this up. Okay, now I'm gonna pull up his question. All right, so I want to pull this up so you can see it. Because I didn't write this, okay? So that's the first thing I just want to say is I did not write this. So here it is right here. Let me pull this in so you can see it. So here it is, okay? This is actually from David Clark from The Tech Show. This is actually straight off his video as well. So he's reading this. This is what it says. Dear President Biden, I'm writing to highlight the critical state of Social Security benefits and request your support for increasing them. Rising living costs have left many retirees and disabled individuals struggling to cover essentials despite a lifetime of contributions. Please back legislation for meaningful enhancement. Your leadership can make a lasting impact on countless Americans and uphold our values. So that's what he wrote, okay? And he did get a response back. I watched his video, and I think he said it was like 5 days later or something like that. Now, I'm going to read you this letter, okay? Because in this letter, it says, and I'm going to read it to you right now. It says, Dear Mr. Clark, thank you for taking time to write to me. I believe we have a moral responsibility to provide Americans with the support they need to maintain their independence and age with dignity. That's why I've kept my commitment to stand up for seniors, lowering costs, strengthening Medicare and Social Security, and fighting any efforts to cut those bedrock federal programs. Last year, I was proud to sign the Inflation Reduction Act into law. For the first time, Medicare is able to negotiate the price of certain high-cost drugs. A month's supply of insulin for seniors is capped at $35, and seniors' out-of-pocket expenses at the pharmacy will be capped at $2,000 per year. This historic law builds on the progress we have made to improve the lives of seniors across America. Hearing aids, I lost it. Hearing aids can now be, Hearing aids can now be bought over the counter. Family, community, and nursing home care are improving. In so many ways, our seniors are finally getting a little more breathing room. Then he goes on to say, but Republicans in Congress are threatening to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act, which would line the pockets of big pharma and raise healthcare costs for seniors. Some congressional Republicans even propose putting Medicare and Social Security on the chopping block. I promise you, if anyone tries to cut Social Security or Medicare, I will stop them. The strength, resilience, and wisdom of older Americans have made our nation what it is today, and I will do everything in my power to help them thrive. Sincerely, signed, President Joe Biden. So, in this response, and this is the reason why I bring this up, is because I have been shown almost this exact same letter. It might be this exact same letter from multiple people. But the reason why I bring it up now is because it's starting to be somewhat comical. Because David Clark from The Tech Show, again, he says this, right? I'm writing to highlight the critical state of Social Security benefits and request your support for increasing them. Rising living costs have left many retirees and disabled individuals struggling to cover essentials despite a lifetime of contributions. Please back legislation for meaningful enhancement. But in the response, does he talk about what his plans are, future bills that he is backing? No. Is he talking about what Senator Bernie Sanders wants, of providing $2,400 per year to Social Security recipients? No. Does President Biden even go into the details of why he promised Social Security recipients $200 per month and has not addressed it one time over the past 4 years, 3 years? It doesn't go into details there. Okay? He just says, thank you for writing to me. Last year, he signed the Inflation Reduction Act, which did nothing for inflation or reducing inflation. He talks about what Medicare is doing to lower the cost of prescription drugs, which is great. Insulin will be capped at $35. Okay. Seniors' out-of-pocket expenses for pharmacies at the pharmacy will be capped at $2,000 per year. That's great, but again, that only does so much. Okay. Capping it at $2,000 per year, not every single person on Social Security is using that much, needs it. And so again, we're capping it, but now we're almost saying that in order for you to get some of these benefits, you have to go to the doctor. You have to get insulin. You have to go to the pharmacy. Because if you don't do those things, you are not reaping the benefits that we've worked so hard to give you. It's kind of what they're saying. And in the end, this is what kind of, it's a little annoying when you ask a question, and what David Clark is asking here is very simple. That please back legislation for meaningful enhancement. And then President Biden, or in this letter, whoever wrote it for him, because I don't think it was him, says, but Republicans in Congress are threatening to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act, which would line the pockets of Big Pharma and raise healthcare costs for seniors. So he's essentially not really answering the question, not telling us what he's planning to do. All he's saying is, this is what Republicans are doing. This is what Republicans are planning on doing. I think that's interesting. Now, I don't want to get into, well, this is what he should have done. This is why we're not seeing anything, okay? Because we've done that before. We've been down that road. But here's what I can tell you. The White House is addressing Social Security the exact same way that lawmakers are addressing Social Security. They're not. They are talking, they pretty much let you ask the question, and then just like a politician would, they flip it. And it's like, okay, you want to know how we're going to increase Social Security? Well, here's what we are doing. We are lowering prices for food, for rent, for utilities. We're trying to fight that fight, because if we can bring down the cost of other goods, just because you are making the same amount of money from Social Security, well, if we reduce your expenses, that's the same thing as if we were to increase your benefits. Every single politician does the exact same thing. Okay? This is why it's so frustrating, and in some cases it's annoying, because you can ask this question every single day, and maybe you get a response, maybe you don't, but chances are the response is the exact same. So, good news is we are receiving some feedback, some answers from the White House. The problem is the answers that we're receiving, they don't really address the question. Did this talk about Social Security? A little bit. But did this answer David Clark's question? No, it didn't. So, just wanted to fill you in on that, kind of show you what is going on, because again, I've written to many people, written to the representatives here in Washington State. I've received some answers here and there. It's very generic. It's probably just their secretary, their assistant. It's probably not coming from them. So that's my take on it, but I just wanted to address this because, again, a lot of people were sending this to me, and David Clark, he put this video out this morning. So I thought that was pretty interesting that they're already sending it to me. There's probably about 10 people that sent me this exact video from today. So again, thank you guys for doing that. Thank you guys for watching other channels, watching the news, seeing what's out there, and reporting it to me as well, so that I can look into it, do a little bit more research, and then let you guys know what is really going on. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.